All right, folks, we are back and we are at it. Good morning. Welcome if you're here for the first time. Glad that you decided to join us. We're going to be navigating through the wild world of day trading futures. Unfortunately, I had to delete the last video that I went through and talked about our analysis. So we'll go over that here real briefly and touch on that. We actually surprisingly have not ran London low, but my analysis for this morning, no matter what, is I want us to see London low ran. And from London low, we're going to look for either a continuation or we're going to look for a reversal at this point. From a higher time frame perspective, we're really wanting to see on the hourly, basically, we're looking to see, does price want to stay above this 1 hour inversion fair value gap? So you can see that we moved lower here and we've moved higher. And then we've come back down inside of this fair value gap or inversion fair value gap, and we're finding support. I want to see it maintain support after it can close however it want. More than likely, I'm expecting within the next 20 minutes, we're going to close inside. If I'm predicting, gun to my head, trying to predict what the market's going to do, this hourly candle will close inside this range. The next candle will aggressively run London's low, 10 o'clock, and either continue or reverse. That's kind of what I'm looking for as far as my analysis goes. And that's kind of the plan. So now that we have a higher time frame perspective, our job is to drop down to the 1, 5, and 15 minute to really look for our potential entries based on our plan, not based on anything else, based on the plan. So with that being said, just give me a thumbs up, guys, if everything is looking good. I'm not on mute. Everything is live. Auto capture's on. Sound is on. Late to the party this morning, but I'm here now. What's up? How you doing? Good. Feed was on. Died, but you're back. Yeah, I cut it all out. Sounds good. Okay, good. Everything's all right. Good. All right. Let's rock and roll. Jahan, good morning. MR, sup? What's up? Stan, it's perfect. Thank you. All right, guys. We're back at it. We're ready. We're ready to go. We're ready to go. All right, we have about 4 minutes before I got the green light to trade. I said I'm waiting for the first 15 minutes to not take any emotionally driven trades. But with that, I have a new affirmation for us this morning. Our affirmation is as follows. Today, I trade with clarity and purpose. I am not moved by fear or greed. My decisions are rooted in truth, patience, and discipline. I trust the process and I trust the provider. That is our affirmation this morning. What is the purpose of an affirmation? Why do we say affirmations? We say this to reset the way we view and think and process information and align our hearts with the Lord. Okay? If you are finding yourself anxious, if you're finding yourself worried, if you're finding yourself just trying to make ends meet, let's say even with trading, this helps us realign our perspective and puts our heart and mind in alignment so that we can take good trades. I mean, that's basically what it is. We don't want to take any trades out of anxiousness, out of greed. We want to trust the process and trust the provider. So even if there's even if you have a failed trade, right? Even if there's a failed trade, we got to trust the process. We have to trust the provider. Let me get this here. Can I move that? Make that smaller. Okay, so today we are trading with clarity and purpose. We have our previous day high and our previous day low currently set. We are on the lower half. Here's our equilibrium of the previous day's range. So we're in the discount portion of this, right? So we're in discount. Are we going to stay here? That's the question. That's the question that I have, okay? We have this price leg right here and a lot of back and forth price action. Let's go ahead and mark our first fair value gap, presented fair value gap here this morning. Where's 930? 930, first. All right, we got our first fair value gap sitting right here. And not bad. I don't mind that. Found support inside it, and we've expanded higher. We got 17 seconds, and then we are free to go. We have a breaker right here. Opening range gap has been filled. There is now opportunity for us to look for a downside move. Quite frankly, there is some opportunity there. What I'm going to be doing is not taking it off of here, but probably taking it off this inversion fair value gap to the downside. Low resistance liquidity sits right here in the form of swing lows and equal lows. So we have an equal low and those levels there. So we're going to see if it just wants to keep pumping or not. If it wants to keep pumping, there's not a trade for me to take here. Because I'm not going long when I have London low right there. I'm not going to take that right now. We have yeah, I want to see prices move lower. I'm not ready to go long. We've already ran London high. So London high, our higher time frame target, has already been ran. Okay? From earlier. This is a market maker buy model. That's been completed. And since then, we've had this protected high. To me, this is a protected high right here. Are we going to run it? If it does, that's fine. I'm just not going to participate in it right now. We have red level news at 10 a.m. Is that what? Is that right? Is that right? I haven't even paid attention. Let's see. 10 a.m. Preliminary consumer sentiment. Inflation expectations. Woo! That might be a reason to wait, guys. Considering all this tariff stuff, it wouldn't surprise me if we get a jolt of price action. That was at 7:30. We had PPI at 7:30. That's already been ran and done with. All right, here's our 15-minute time frame. I have not checked out ES yet. I probably should. Let's just take a look here before we do that. Let me just make sure. To be honest, I really like a price running lower. I would like these not to be ran. But I don't tell the market what to do. Let's clean that up. Breaker here, 12 minutes. Let's see if it wants to respect it. Northern, good morning. I did take a pre-market trade, Northern. I did take that breaker. I have it outlined here. I got in at around, what was it, right here? I got in at 757. No, it wasn't 757. I got in at 805 on this sweep of the high, and I sold it a little early because it was just consolidating too much. But I sold for 35 handles just above the low right there. It was It was an okay trade. I mean, I'm glad I sold it. It eventually ran higher, swept the highs, and then moved in my favor. Manipulation, consolidation, manipulation, expansion. You took the bullish move before the trade. Oh, right here. Yeah, let's go ahead and let's mark up ES real quick. All right, we're gonna do this fairly quick here. So we got our previous day high and our previous day low. We've had a big expansion, so we could see a 20% retracement based on the weekly candle. We may have already received that. ES, we got APM. We got London low right here. London high has not been ran yet. We're stuck inside this range. We have a nice breaker right around London high on ES. That wouldn't be too bad to potentially run that London high and we hit the breaker once already right there. Got low resistance liquidity and some fair value gaps right here as well. That looks intriguing. Back to the 1 hour, we have are we finding support in the 1 hour? Okay. I'm seeing lower. I don't know. It just feels like I just feel like it wants to go lower. All right, so we're done with that. Back to NQ here. Here's the inversion fair value gap for that pump higher right there. Look at the respect of that inversion. Okay, so we created it, blew through it, found support in it, and now all the bodies have stayed in discount. We have equal lows down here. We have low resistance liquidity right here. If I had a nice breaker in here, I would be interested in that, but we don't have really anything. This is the 30-second. So I can't do anything short right now. So maybe we get a higher high, and then we break lower to run towards London low. But this is my narrative. If I can participate in a move towards London low, I like these equal lows and the low resistance right here. We have the first fair value gap sitting right there. So let's see what happens with price over the next 10 minutes or so. Good morning. John, I don't trade ES, but this level helps me to decide on NQ trades for sure. Yeah, I'm just looking. I know I need to be more intentional to it, just for correlation purposes. If it's uncorrelated, then I need to stay away from it. Or not from it, but I just need to stay away from potentially taking any trades. So far, everything's correlating. We don't have any SMTs or anything. I'll wait for that news to drop first before I push any buttons. Not a bad move, Jaeyoung. BDC, good morning. Let's just make sure Trump doesn't make any announcements, huh? 14 hours ago, a helicopter crash. He made one 30 seconds ago. The House and Senate should push hard for more daylight at the end of the day. 24 minutes ago, we are doing really great on the tariffs policy. Okay. Nothing that's standing out. That's good. We just don't want any news to... Trump says something and the market moves. That's typically what happens. Fair value gaps. How do you read those on the chart? Be a little clear. What do you mean? I mean, if I know what a fair value gap is, I have them marked on my chart. How do I read them? As in, are you asking, how do I use them in my analysis? Or how do I identify them on the charts? It's a great distinction we need to clarify here. What is a fair value gap? Identification. Perfect. Yeah, with all the stuff on here, it's a little more difficult. A fair value gap consists of 3 candles, a combination of 3 candles. I want to see the charts, so we're going to do something over here. All right, so we'll talk about right here, okay? A fair value gap consists of 3 consecutive candles, no more, no less. So here's candle 1, candle 2, and candle 3. This is a fair value gap. It is the space between the high of the first candle and the low of the third candle. Now, if the bodies aren't touching, you make sure to include that gap. So in this case, this candle's high and this candle's close, third candle's close, creates that fair value gap. What is that? That means inefficiency of delivery. Meaning we've had buy side delivery, but no sell side delivery. Now, when this black candle 1 and 2 move lower, guess what it did? It moved into that fair value gap, now giving it not only buy side delivery, but also sell side delivery. So this fair value gap has been mitigated, or this area of price has been efficiently delivered to. So when we have a fair value gap like this one right here, this one has not been touched by anything. Technically it has, because we have a volume imbalance right here. But look what happened when price came into that fair value gap right here. It bounced, it found support, and it moved higher. So this fair value gap was partially mitigated, but still we have a big portion that is unmitigated. Does it want to come back to it right now, or does it want to just use this reaction here and move price aggressively higher? When you have fair value gaps that overlap with other PD arrays in price, that can help you have confidence to take a trade based on having multiple elements in price action that gives you the confidence to take the trade. JB, I don't have a coupon code for the Apex trade copier. I didn't know they have one. If there's an option for it, I can see if I can get one for you guys. I just am currently testing out take profit take trader profit take trader profit trades. I'm still working on the name here, apparently. Take Profit Trader. Take Profit Trader. I'm testing out that one right now. It has no activation fee. It has a one-time fee for your evaluation, as well as it rolls right over into your funded account. So we're testing that out. And if it goes well and I like it and I don't have any issues with it, I'm going to provide a coupon code for that for discounts for you guys. But Epic or Flex, we'll call you Flex. Hey Flex, now here's that fair value gap that we've been watching. Okay, how does it react? Does it completely violate it, or does it find support in it again? Right? We just have the news candle right now, and there's a lot of volatility that happens at 10 o'clock. But are we going to find support, or is it going to blow right through it? Now there's another one right below it. So these fair value gaps don't mean as much to me because they're consecutive. I would either want to look at the lowest one for a sell move or the highest one for a bullish move. Okay? So right now we're watching this to find support for a bullish move higher. If it violates it, then I'm looking at this lower one that sits right here and see if price wants to move lower through it. It was $150. I paid $150 for it one time, and that's it. I like this entry. I like this right here. I think I'm going to take this right here. This is a breaker. We got the formation that I said I wanted. Now I want to see price run lower. I'm going to spread this down here. I want to take this all the way down here. The mistakes I've been making has been hesitation in the last couple weeks. And I can't hesitate. When I hesitate, I get in bad positions or I have poor entries. So we're looking for London low. I'm not even going to run to London low. I'm just going to take it to the low, the current low of day, which is the current low is 18,352. So that's what I'm looking for price right now. I need it to run through this first fair value gap, though. This first fair value gap is a big level. We also came up to the equal to midpoint of the previous day range. So I really like this. I do have confidence in this. I really want to see if it could close below this first fair value gap. That'd be amazing. on this candle specifically. All right, here's our, we currently at the new day opening gap low. Let's see if price wants to find support or resistance here and run back and find resistance and run lower here. I might have a second thought on potentially closing the trade and letting it come back up for another entry. But I think it's a little too late. I should have done that way down here. So here's our official breaker. We want to see price find resistance here. We want to see price roll over right there. Well, stopped out there, folks. The first fair value gap found support, and I said that was my biggest concern. And I did have a thought of selling it here, but I didn't, obviously. It gave us 50 plus handles, 60 handles, 70 handles, something like that. Don't regret taking the trade, followed my rules, had my target. I only had one contract, so you live, you learn. I'll play a reclaimed breaker here. If it gives me another entry, I'll reclaim this. This, and that. I'm not going to take it off the push. I need to get it off the retracement here. To me, this is just like my trade played out, but just got like a stop hunt. If I really want, I could be conservative and wait for the first fair value gap to be violated. That's not a bad idea. We're making a lot of these lows here. I want to see this hit and then take an entry based off of that. I really do like that idea. I'm looking through this whole thing right here. I'm going to wait for, see if it wants to hold or if it's just going to push right through. All right, we're going to try this one more time and put the stop above that fair value gap. So I have a stop right above this fair value gap right now. And this will be, what's my target, is 13.14. This is also a BPR. This is also a BPR. I'm going to put it right above that body. If it's going to go, then I will be done for today. Either way. Do you see the low resistance liquidity that's forming right here? We got equal lows, low resistance liquidity. This candle right here, this series of candles is just like, to me, messing with you. And if it stops me out here, then I got it all wrong, folks, and I need to call it a day. Oh my gosh. I need to jump, trying to catch you again next week. Have a blessed day. You take care, my friend. This should run quickly right here. That's what I want to see, is just some aggressive price action running through these lows right here. Proper stop loss. We need to run these relatively quick. If we can't run these aggressively, then I may be wrong again. Alki, how you doing? I mean, the last thing I want to do is just close the trade right here. This is what I've done so many times, where I'll close the trade when I'm slightly in profit, and I cut my feet off before I really get going, you know? So I don't want to just close the trade and, take a, 30, 40 point win when I see it. So I just have to be patient. I have to be willing to put risk on the table, willing to take the loss, and just let the trade play out. It is so important that we close below this first fair value gap, though. We need to see that. Come on. Let's go. Let's close. Give it to me. Nice. All right. Let's see it run really quickly here. That's what I want to see, is at least a quick run to these equal lows down here. I'm not going to let this go back to zero or go negative against me. We're too far in the profit in the green for that. We need to run this low. As soon as we run this low, I'm going to be moving my stop all the way down to probably 18,410, 18,420. As soon as we run these lows. The equal lows. Looking for the London low as my target. Gonna move my stop to 18,407. So we are in the money. We're looking for London lows before we get stopped out. Come on. Moving my stop lower. All right, got stopped out there. Total trade from 18,521 to 18,380. So 140 points. That right there is what I want to do every day. You see how difficult the market though has been? We went in based on our structure and our plan, and that being that we were going to this breaker right here. Well, I mean, a stop above the highs is 111 points. That's just insane to do a stop loss like that. It's just so crazy to think that that's how large. There's our London low. Got hit the target. I got stopped out here, so we missed out on 60 handles. So it could have been a 200-point trade. Market probably still is going to keep running lower. I got what I wanted out of it, and that's all that matters. Yeah, I'm very happy. Very happy with that trade. Isn't that crazy though too? I almost got stopped out again. I mean, I almost got stopped out for a second time before the trade. The stop losses on these are unreal. My stop loss, my position was 521, and I set my stop loss at 586. That was a 60-point stop loss. It was a 60-point stop loss. And why did I set mine there? I told myself, and when I was reviewing my trades and I was reviewing my journal, that my stop losses have been in inappropriate spots, I think. And I shared that yesterday. So we have this fair value gap here that I want, this BPR that I basically wanted it to stay below. So I put it above the body of the first candle that created the fair value gap. So my stop loss was right above this line right there, because that's the body of the first candle of the 3 consecutive candles that create this SIBI, or the sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency, fair value gap. That's what the classification of fair value gap this is. Now, if I wanted to be really liberal, I would have put it at this high. So looking back at this trade here, if I wanted to be, there was no fair value gaps. Did you guys see that? There's no fair value gap. So since there's no fair value gap on this breaker, when we came down into it, really the only spot that I could properly put it would be at a swing high, and our swing high is there. That's 100 points. I can't do that. So I just set my standard stop loss at 40 handles, and I hope that it runs lower without actually hitting my stop loss. In this case, it didn't. It hit my stop loss and went higher without actually running this high and then rolling over. This is why I was willing to get back in on this breaker, initial breaker that we played. I played the same trade twice, but I played it based on this being a BPR this time, meaning a protected high. We shouldn't run this high and hopefully not violate this fair value gap, which we did not. But turned it out to be a win. That's what matters. No, I take that back. It's not about winning. It's about following the rules. But I'm not going to, it's like the cherry on top when you get the win on top of the rules. So that one trade covered my previous loss and put me in the green. So this loss was it was 47 to 609. Here, let's just do, I'm doing the math here just so I can calculate it. 609 minus 547. So that loss was 62 handles. And this trade was so that was a collectively in the green. That was an 80 handle win for me. After the loss, getting back that loss plus what I made on top of that was an 80 point win. So MR, have a great day. Wilhelm, yeah, it was a great move. 18-13, nice job. I did not. Here's the thing. The reason I moved that stop loss down was because I've been burned. Not of any other reason. It was fear-based. I'll be 100% honest with you. I'm trying to be more present with my trading, and I moved that stop loss not based on a rule, not based on any structure that I saw, simply because I wanted to secure a win. Yesterday I was up 100 points and it retraced all the way back to my to a negative 20, to a stop loss that was down 20 points. So I collectively made 100 points, didn't sell it, and then I lost 120 points on that same move. And guess what? It eventually ran in my direction again. So I've had like 4 or 5 trades this week that I had the correct analysis, but inappropriate stop loss. And just because I'm only taking one contract, I don't sell at these key points, minor key points. I wanted the big key point, which was London low, right? And since I only did one contract, it's like, well, I'm holding for that move. I don't want to get into the habit like I have had over the last 2 years of selling my trades early and not letting the trade play out. But at the same time, you then now risk losing that trade. So it will be easier when you have when you can take multiple contracts. It's still hard because you're losing half your profits potentially, but at least you get to secure something in line. Like, for example, I would have secured something here because I've seen price come here and then reverse before running the London low and leaving it later. So I, out of fear, moved my stop loss to this low right here. And it stopped me out and then ran. That just is what it is. Recognizing it and then journaling it and then just being aware of it helps you then in the future say, you know what, today that's not going to be me. Today I'm going to hold. Today I'm going to see this through, right? That's what happened on the first trade right here. This trade right here, when I took that entry right here, you saw it, I saw it, I called it out. I'm like, I'm getting in this, and it ran how many points? It ran 100 points. Just this trade ran 100 points, and then it stopped me out 40 points. Should I have taken a profit at 100 handles? Probably. I'm not in a spot right now where I want to take more contracts than one micro with this volatility. I'm copying it on multiple accounts, so I don't necessarily need to. I'm used to taking 5 micros and sometimes 10 micros. But the volatility since Trump's been in office has been insane. So it's just a new market. New market, new conditions means new strategy. And the new strategy right now is reduce size, get some level of consistency as far as what kind of volatility are we going to see, what kind of stop losses are we dealing with, and create that system. For example, the system is never take a trade on the expansion, always take it on the retracement. Because if you take it on the retracement, you have a less of a probability of being stopped out. Meaning, on this trade right here, let me do this. We ran lower, and then we came back up to this high right here. Taking the trade on the retracement back up to that level is where you'd want to get in, not when it's closing down here. When it's closing down here, you're in a hard spot. So this market has been telling me, you see an expansion, with everything, do not take that expansion move. Wait for it to retrace because there's a good chance it's going to, and then get in, and then take that trade. Even when I got in that trade right here at 1013, I could have waited for it to dig deeper into this fair value gap and got a higher position up here, right? But I didn't. I got in too early. There's a fine line between hesitating on taking a trade, and just getting a proper entry. Yesterday, I waited for a proper entry. I wasn't hesitating, but I missed the trade. It means you're going to miss trades at times, but you put yourself in a better position to not get yourself stopped out. this is me. I mean, what I'm sharing with you guys is basically my motivation for myself. Trying to figure out the pattern that price is taking so that I can get proper entries. So like if you're just coming into this and you're thinking you're going to make money right away, it's insane to think that, because the insane volatility is just going to wipe you out. And if you don't know what you're looking at, you're going to be like, how does anybody make money in this market? And it's totally possible. It's totally possible. So we've ran the London low. I told you what my narrative and what my plan was. My plan is we run London low. I want to look for a reversal. That's what I'm looking for right now. I want to see if we get some type of reversal or some type of move that we can play to the upside. Okay? I'm done with my my funded accounts. I'm just going to have an eval account that I'll look at potentially trading, and only going to go for A+ setups. We're not going to do anything risky. We're going to only wait for the best of the best, and if we don't get one of those, we're not taking a trade. So JD, biggest struggle right now is over trading. Praying on it every day, but still struggling with it. Okay, so here's what I'm going to say, JD. How committed are you? Now, it's a rhetorical question, but when I say commitment, people go, oh, I'm committed. I want to win. Great. Most people to that degree will say that they're committed. But how committed are you? Are you willing to do whatever it takes? Most people will say, yeah, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. So the next question I have is, what have you thought about that you can do? What extreme measure can you take to make sure that you don't overtrade? What extreme measure are you going to implement to prove that you're committed? Rhetorical question. I'm not picking on you. I'm talking to the abyss at the moment. I'm talking to me, everyone. This is the questions you ask as a trader, and I'm trying to insert these thoughts, these points of importance that you have to view as a trader, because every person deals with overtrading. Guaranteed. They will deal with over trading. Do you have something in place that proves you're committed? Because here's what I can guarantee you. I've shared this before, there is always, always, always a deeper level of commitment that you can take. What does that look like? It's going to be different for everyone, but there's some structure that you can put around you that you could potentially follow. I can only speak to what I've done. I can only speak to the measures and levels that I've personally taken. And I would not tell you anything that I have personally not done. I can tell you what other people have done, sure. But as far as like, hey, this is what it takes, I'm only going to speak on what I've personally done. And when it comes to a level of commitment, what areas are you, or let me rephrase it, as far as taking that deeper level of commitment, what are those areas that you've thought about, but you're going, that's kind of crazy? You've thought about it and you go, that's too difficult. You've thought about it some more and you're like, you kind of ignore it because you really don't want to address it. You really don't want to think about it because it goes against the feelings of pleasure, the feelings of trading, the feelings of making money. What are those things that you're avoiding that will take you to that deeper level of commitment? I can promise you, every successful trader, every profitable trader had to go through and answer these questions I'm giving you. Sometimes it takes rock bottom to then commit to those rules or expectations or routines or processes. Many times it's rock bottom. Maybe it's there's no other option. It's either this or I give up. Sometimes people will actually heed other people's advice and learn from others' mistakes and then apply it to their own life. Unfortunately, that was not me. That was not me. I've had to learn through my own poor decisions and failures to find that deeper level of commitment. For me, what is that deeper level of commitment right now? To me, that deeper level of commitment looks like this. I'm going to bed at 10 p.m. I'm getting up at 5 a.m. I have my quiet time with the Lord. I have my mindset realignment. I do my affirmations. I do stretching. I get my body engaged. I sit in front of the charts before my family gets up and I put together my pre-session strategy. I review my rules. I review my models. Today, I applied a new rule on myself, looked in the mirror, and I said to myself, you are not going to take a trade before 9:45. I gave myself that rule. I applied it. And so far, it worked out great. However, what I'm saying is sometimes the deeper level of commitment is outside of trading. Because when you can commit to other areas of your life, that will roll over into your area of trading. If you can't be disciplined in other areas of your life, you heck for sure cannot be disciplined in this area. Trading exasperates, it magnifies your personal commitments and principles in your life. If you don't have them, it's going to magnify that. If you have poor self-guiding principles in your life, it's going to magnify that. It's going to magnify whatever you live by. I'm a type of person that doesn't like rules, doesn't like commitment. I like commitment. I take that back. I like commitment, but I don't like rules and guardrails and processes. I kind of like to go as I go. And boy, oh boy, that is not good. It's destructive. It was destructive to my trading. So if you want to see a certain area of your trading, you have to go to the extreme. Okay? I have one loss. Great. Close down your charts, buy a program called Cold Turkey and lock yourself out. Make yourself sit in front of the charts without taking a single trade and only call out the trades and not take them. Sit on your hands. Live stream. Get an accountability person. Tell somebody else that, hey, I'm going to write a check for $100, and if I take more than 3 trades, I want you to cash it and I want you to give it to a nonprofit that I hate. I mean, I'm telling you, you can find a deeper level of commitment. It's just going to call you on your stuff. It's going to call you. Are you willing to do it? Doesn't mean you do it forever, but can you prove to yourself? Can you prove to yourself that you can follow through it? Sometimes we just need to know that we can do it. So do it. Prove to yourself you can do it this isn't indefinite. Prove to yourself that you can do it for a day. Then after you do that, congratulations. Prove to yourself that you can do it for a week. Prove to yourself you can do it 2 weeks in a row. Or maybe you have a mess up. So for example, I remember making this rule. I'm going to not take any impulsive trades. I don't say that like recently. And I've been doing great. And then one afternoon, I saw something and I clicked the button. And I took that trade. I don't remember. I don't know if it was a win or a loss. It was a nothing burger. And I walk away and I go, man, like that, I just blew it. Father, forgive me, clean me, wash me. I'm recommitting to my rules. I'm not just abandoning them altogether now. I'm recommitting and I'm going after this again. I'm going to do this again. I'm going to get this because I'm committed to it and I'm going to do whatever it takes. Find that deeper level of commitment because it's there. It's there. Prove to yourself it's there. It hurts. It's painful. You won't want to do it. When it comes for me getting up and going to bed, I love staying up late, guys. I mean, I'll stay up till 2 a.m. I can stay up till midnight, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Easy. On my phone, I have a reasons why sheet. A reasons why. Why am I going to bed early? And I wrote out every reason why I'm going to bed early. And so when my alarm goes off to say, and I don't want to do it, I read my why sheet. Why am I going to bed early? I need to know why. I read it, and then it engages my emotions. It's engaging with me, and I'm reminded of the deeper reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing. Then when I don't want to get up, or also before I get up in the morning, before I go to bed, I'm reviewing my reasons why I'm getting up. Because if I don't review it the night before, I'm not going to get up in the morning. And also, I will tell you this, if you want a little hack, get the alarm. If you want to get up early, get the app called Alarmery. It is the best alarm you will ever have to get up in the morning. I set it to where it requires me to take a picture of my bathroom sink before the alarm stops going off. So it goes off in the morning. I can mute it for 1 minute, but it will go on and on and on until I actually take that picture of that bathroom sink. By that time, I'm up. I'm 20 feet away from my bed. I brush my teeth, take a big drink of water, and I'm like, okay, I can do this. That's what it takes for me to get up. I hate getting up early too. Find that deeper level of commitment. All right, we're coming into the macro. The question is going to be this. Do we find support at this first fair value gap again to move higher? We've hit our London low. This is what I wanted. I wanted this. So now what I'm looking for is support, a fair value gap, and a break of that fair value gap to go long in. That's what I want. We have high, high, high. I want the retracement, remember? I'm interested in the retracements. I want to get in on those retracements. When I'm getting in on the retrace, or basically from the retracement on the expansion, that's what I want. I just don't want to get long on the expansion. I want to get long from the retracement. No, yeah, you can't even let yourself. 400 is your trigger point. Okay, JD, 400 is your trigger point. Meaning when you hit 400, you lose it. So don't let yourself get to negative 400. That is the answer. You can't go on tilt, because once you're on tilt, forget it. You're screwed. You go on tilt. Even though you know you're not supposed to, you do it anyway. So you have to avoid negative 400. How do you avoid it? You take smaller size, much smaller size most likely, and then you make your limit 200. Make your limit 200. You could probably live with minus 200. It doesn't hurt as bad. So what happens is, well, it doesn't hurt that bad, so I'm going to keep trading. That's the truth. It's messed up. Another little BPR right here. I want this to be a fake out BPR, and I want it to blow right through it. I'm taking a micro long right now, and I'll probably add to it as we expand. So this is an eval account, eval only. This is the first fair value gap that I said I want price to find support at. So if we close below this first fair value gap, the trade's out in my mind. Let's move this a little bit lower here. All right, last contract that I'm at 3 contracts on this eval account, 3 micro contracts. And stops gonna be here. If I get stopped out, I get stopped out. The reason why I'm willing to do this is we ran a key level. London low is my key level, meaning I don't know why it would want to go lower. It could come all the way down here. It could. But I'm playing it based off of the first fair value gap finding support from that. Here's the other thing. We got this first fair value gap, or this fair value gap right here. If we wick up into this and close below it, I will close my trade. Because I could see price doing one of these like that, right? So if we come up into this first fair value gap and we don't, like, it can close in it, but if we don't reasonably move in the direction of closing above it and we start aggressive moving this way, I will close the trade. Why would I say that? Because price moves in manipulation and distribution. So it could manipulate to here and then expand here, right? I'm treating this as manipulation. Hopefully this is going to be the expansion. We'll see. $54.97. All right. Yeah, we don't have any reason to go lower. 5 minute has been mitigated already. I mean, it absolutely could go lower. This is what I'm talking about right there. That little move right there. Do we lose it or do we push through it? If we can't get above this, I'll close this trade. Because that's the manipulation I'm talking about. I want to see it close above this. That's right. That's what I want. Come on. If we start rolling over, this is an example of what I mean. I'll close the trade. Gonna close that trade. Let's see if it was the right decision. Well, it saved me on some there, but that's exactly what I was referring to. If it does that and starts going the other direction, that's where it's like I need to cut the trade, because order flow of price is showing that. And I don't want to participate in that. I wanted that, and it's not giving it to me. Oh, there it goes. Must have. With that, folks, I think we're going to call it a day here. I'll be back here Monday morning. It'll be a good day. Thanks for being here, guys. Stay safe. Also, the code RISEN25 if you're interested in participate or joining the Discord and the Purpose Driven Trader Academy. Feel free to check it out. Would love to have you guys. That should be it. Use the code DTJ for any discounts on Apex. And that's it, guys. God bless. Stay safe, and we'll see you guys next week. Take care.